A new survey of CEOs and institutional investors conducted by Teneo finds a majority expects a sizable uptick in M&A in the new year. Joining us now first on CNBC, Teneo chairwoman Ursula Burns. She's the former CEO of Xerox, current board member at Uber, Endeavor Group Holdings, and IHS Holdings. This isn't just, it's good to see you, Ursula. Thanks for joining us.
Joe.
This isn't, we think there may be more M&A. These people are in a position to make it happen. So it could almost be, it's a better survey than just what maybe some money manager thinks might happen, because these are some of the guys and gals that are actually involved in doing the deals.
Exactly. And I think that, the way that we pose this survey at Teneo, we do that. This is the second year that we've done this. And as you know, we're in the boardrooms. We have 1,600 clients, over 1,600 employees, offices all over the world. And we are very close to the CEOs. We just don't send them a survey. We speak to them about how the strategies in their business. And M&A is clearly an active conversation in boardrooms today. 68% of the CEOs that we've surveyed said that M&A is high on their list. And we expect to see, therefore, a sizable uptick in M&A in 2024.
And we've seen past periods, Ursula. Sometimes you almost feel like M&A is offensive because of, I don't know. I figured I'd probably like to get into AI or whatever's hot over the years. You see companies decide to expand that way and integrate vertically. But other times it almost seems defensive that they're forced to do things. How do you separate the two?
I think we're seeing both sides here. I think, M&A will slow down pretty significantly in 2023, and we're coming out of a time of low interest rates. And R&D is something that's precious today. And companies use M&A for both reasons. One is to grow their business, but the other is to shore up their technology base. And we're seeing both here. So I don't think this is like a stumble into this. This is significantly more strategic, where companies, business leaders, boards are looking at ways to increase their talent base, increase their R&D pipelines, and to expand their business, because prices will be, the expectation, better for them to do all three of those things through this vehicle.
So you got this arrow: deglobalization, globalization. I would, once again, I'll bet you got both, don't you?
Yeah, 80% of CEOs say that they will continue to invest in deglobalization, globalization, whatever the word that we want to use is. 80% said that they're focused on supply chain flexibility and resilience, and so therefore they are moving either talent or supply lines or partnerships more spread out along the world. So this is another one where the signal was very clear. Question asked, question answered. Will you continue down this path? The answer is absolutely. Not a lot of changes. Most of the CEOs said that they're going to continue on the path that they already started in 2023. This is good business assurance plans, but also, as I said, it's a good way to access new markets and new technologies and new people. So this is not a questionable signal at all. A strong one that we got from the CEOs.
I wonder how specific you get there. Does India all of a sudden become more attractive than China? Does Vietnam and some of those areas? Does South America, that's in the same time zone?
Check. All three.
Onshoring.
China remains an important trading partner, an important person for us to have relations with. You know all of the statements there. India, Vietnam, the global South, absolutely. All three of those areas and more are becoming more and more operationally viable for the CEOs that we've surveyed.
We've seen, Ursula, I don't know whether it's a retrenchment or a rethinking of I don't know, it's like alphabet soup, ESG, DEI. I think you found that they're going to stay the course, but it's sort of a ESG 2.0, listen more, talk less.
No, I think half of it, yes, they're going to stay the course. 92% of CEOs said that they are, despite the political environment, despite all of the noise that goes on everywhere, that they think they have constituents that require this, that they get the best talent this way, that they engage more clients and employees, et cetera, this way. So 92% said that they're going to stay the course, but they're going to be a little bit more cautious, and they're paying attention to the political environment on how they speak about it. Not misleading people, but being very clear and being very aligned, mission aligned in their conversations about ESG and their actions around ESG. I think it's actually very, very interesting. This is another strong signal that they've thought deeply about this. They've thought deeply about ESG. They're trying to stay away from the politics and be more business focused and business based in the decisions that they're making. It's actually, to me, a refreshing sign.
But I'm just reading from some of the findings. The word split, that U.S. CEOs are actually split, half continuing or accelerating, while over a third are not retrenching, but reevaluating. What does that even mean? 25%
or so said that they have to step back and look at everything from the program to how they communicate about the program. And the rethinking, in some cases, is increasing their activities. In other cases, it's modifying their activities. The strong signal, though, that this is something that most businesses believe is core to their futures and core to engaging as many constituents as they possibly can. They have to be careful.
If you're in college, maybe you should switch from French Renaissance poetry to some technology skills. Would that be a good idea if you want to be a CEO? What do you think?
Yeah, if you look at what the U.S. business-based people talked about it from a technology perspective, AI way up. Obviously, AI not only in understanding it and using it in your business, but also in how you hire, including at the highest levels, including at the board level. Do we have the right skills in place, people who are familiar with at least AI and technologies in general, and get people? It's going to be a war for talent, right? Not only at the college graduation level, but in the senior levels as well. A 20% jump year over year in what business leaders are going to do, how they're going to invest, how important this is to them. AI is now mainstream. Even if CEOs don't know what to do with it exactly, it is mainstream. It's a conversation every single day.